Most powerful battleships. Hello and welcome to another video from War Secrets. The curtains have closed on these huge naval structures, known as battleships. These ships in their heyday were the most important assets that many countries had in their naval forces. From the 1850s marking the birth of battleships until the 1990s when the last of them retired from service. Battleships ruled as the ultimate warship. Although the Jutland War in 1916 during World War I was the last major war fought mainly by battleships, they remained a major asset for many countries to prevent offenders, as they were used to prevent the enemy nations from launching unexpected attacks. However, because of their low cost, speed, and higher efficiency, destroyers have now replaced battleships. That said, the history of war and the significance of battleships in the past wars cannot be ignored. Therefore, in this video, we are going to tell you about the top 7 strongest battleship. We will highlight some of the most dangerous battleships ever built. If you are not subscribed to War Secrets, subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on to never miss any video from War Secrets. Now, without any further delay, let's start our countdown. Number 7. HMS Dreadnought. The Royal Navy transferred naval engineering by building the HMS Dreadnought in 1906. HMS Dreadnought pioneered the use of steam turbines, which made it the fastest battleship in the world at the time of its production. It was also the first to have a uniform primary battery. The launch of Dreadnought began the arms race when other nations rushed to build a ship of equal strength. Disappointingly, aside from the sinking of German submarine, HMS Dreadnought never saw any combat action. Number 6. Missouri. Iowa and New Jersey were the first in the Iowa class and went on to some of the most impressive fighting records in the class, especially in the Pacific War. Missouri was no sluggard either, but she was celebrated mainly for political achievements rather than its feast in battle. General MacArthur welcomed Japan's surrender on her weather decks in Tokyo Bay, leaving behind some of the most iconic images of the 20th century warfare. Missouri has been a metaphor for how to put an end to big, open-ended conflicts since then. For example, President Bush Sr. evoked the surrender in a letter. Missouri provided a measuring stick for how Desert Storm could unfold, and as it happens, a modernized Missouri was in Desert Storm. Missouri remained in service for diplomatic purposes after World War II. The battleship sailed to Turkey in the early months after the war as the Iron Curtain fell across Europe and communist uprisings threatened Greece and Turkey. Observers interpreted the visit as a signal of President Harry Truman's and the United States' commitment to keeping the Soviet bloc from harming friendly countries. The gesture gave a bold message that the United States was in Europe to settle. Missouri therefore participated in the development of a containing strategy while reducing concerns about America's abandonment. Naval diplomacy does not get much better than that. Number 5. The German warship Bismarck. Bismarck is known for being the largest battleship ever built by Germany and being technically the largest ever built by any European country. It was a large beast of a battleship carrying 8 38cm SK-C-34 rifles, 12 15cm L-55 rifles, 16 10.5cm L-65 rifles, and 16.7cm L-83 rifles, and 12 2cm anti-aircraft cannons. It was first launched in 1939 but was seen as such a potent threat, so it did not last long in operation. The ship was involved in the Battle of Denmark Strait, where it combined with the Prince Eugen to sink the HMS Hood. The British then continued to pursue the Bismarck, attacking it with all sorts of ships, including all biplane torpedo bombers. Thousands of shells were fired at Bismarck to destroy it, and it was so badly damaged that First Commander Hans Owels ordered for it to be scuttled. Despite the orders to abandon ship, the attack and the scuttling caused great loss of life. Of the 2,200 men on board, only 114 survived. Number 4. HMS Campbelltown. The HMS Campbelltown is a battleship that is famous for interesting end. The ship was first launched by the US Navy in 1919 as the USS Buchanan, but was later transferred to the Royal Navy to support the war effort and was named HMS Campbelltown. It wasn't long before the battleship was out of action, but it was still had its uses. In 1942, Campbelltown was loaded full of explosive and embarked on Operation Chariot. Its aims was to destroy the Normandy dry dock at Saint Nazaire. It was rammed into the harbor as the British commando raided the facilities intending to destroy equipment and other structures. Only 228 of the 611 men who joined the campaign were able to return to Britain, but the operation itself was a success. HMS Campbelltown exploded at noon on March 28, 1942, rendering the dock useless until 1948. This meant that German warships could not be repaired there and were forced to return home by a more dangerous route. The mission was said to be one of the greatest success in Britain's naval history, and the ships and its crew went down in history. Number 3. Yamato. Yamato was a masterpiece by any standard. She displays more than any other warship in history, almost as much as an early supercarrier, and had the heaviest weaponry. Its 18-inch rifle could throw 3,200-pound projectiles for 25 nautical miles. The armor was more than 2 feet thick in diameter. Among the three features of the battleship design, Yamato's designer clearly preferred offensive and defensive solidity over speed. Yamato could speed up to 27 knots, not bad for a ship of its size. But it went much slower than the 33 knots achievable by US fast naval vessels. Yamato is best remembered for falling short of her promise. It did not see much action and was destroyed in a suicidal mission in April 1945. Like Bismarck, it makes to another cautionary tale about human failure. Number 2. USS Midway. The USS Midway was one of the world's largest ships when it was first launched in 1945. It was the leading ship in its class and was named after the Battle of Midway. Midway was developed onto many assignments over the years, including supporting mission in Vietnam and even decades later in Operation Desert Storm. The USS Midway certainly has an exciting history spanning a few decades, and it was also a test grab to explore new ways of battle. In 1947, for example, the flight deck was used to test the launch of the German rocket V2, the first ever launch of the rocket from a moving platform. Midway was retired in 1992 and is now on a museum ship. Number 1. Mikasa. The flagship of the Admiral Togo Hayashiro is a symbol of the Order of the Sea. The British-built Mikasa was apparently the best warship to have sailed during the last years of the 19th century, striking a fine balance between speed, defense, and weaponry. The human factor was also powerful. Imperial Japanese Navy sailors are known for their expertise in Ellen, while Togo was renowned for his ingenuity. Mikasa was a main battleship for naval action in the Yellow Sea in 1904 and the Tsushima Strait in 1905. Battles that left the remains of the two Russian ships scattered on the seafloor. The likes of the Theodore Roosevelt and of Alfred Thayer Mahan considered Tsushima to be the perfect battleship. Like the other battleship portrayed here, Mikasa shaped the thinking of subsequent generation about diplomacy and warfare. During the interwar years, Imperial Japanese Navy commanders planned to repeat the Tsushima Strait in the event of Japan's conflict with the United States. In general, Mikasa and the rest of the Imperial Japanese Navy terrified people all over Asia. Japan proved that the power of the Western Empire could be defeated in battle and eventually expelled for the lands it had conquered. World leaders from Sun Yat-sen to Mohandas Gandhi to W.E.B. Du Bois paid tribute to Tsushima, thanking Japan for spurring them on to overthrow colonial governments. Mikasa, in fact, more than a victor in a sea battle of the modest level, and her reputation outlasted her strange fate. The ship returned home victorious following the Russo-Japanese War, only to face a magazine explosion and sink. For the Japanese people, the tragedy proved that they had gotten a raw deal at the Portsmouth Peace Conference. However, it did not dampen the enthusiasm of foreign observers for Japan's achievements. Mikasa remained a legend. That's all for this video. We hope you like it, and if yes, then like the video and also comment down below to let us know which next war-related topic you are interested in, and we will try our best to bring it on our channel. See you all in the next video. Till then, bye.